Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Astrology Today and Tarot. My name is Mel Rose. This is the Tarot portion and the second half of my daily astrology vlog, which you can check out on my other channel, Astrology Today with Mel Rose. Over there, you'll find a description of the day's astrology as I've spelled it out here. Here, I will discuss the tarot card that sits on the side of the page, and then I'll play another card that, in the context of the day's astrology, may just give us something more to think about. So let's get into it. The card that currently sits on the side of the page is the Four of Pentacles. And today is the last day, friends, for the Four of Pentacles corresponds in astrology with the final 10 days or the third decan of the sun's transit here in the land of Capricorn. And indeed, today is the last day of the sun's transit in Capricorn. Capricorn is an earth sign. Pentacles and Tarot represent earth element symbolism. And earth element symbolism is all about the physical resources, the material resources that we possess, and what we're willing to do with them in terms of work, in terms of investment or expenditure to create a sense of stability, safety, security, balance, and abundance in our own lives. So we come to the Four of Pentacles, and clearly we have a character here who's very interested in saving back their resources, whatever it is that they have earned in terms of personal material wealth. It's only natural to want to protect what you have earned. It's good to be conservative with your resources. It's good to be frugal, especially in times like these. It's good, if you can, to have a little bit of money set back or a little bit of resources set back so that, if obstacles arise or if just things come up that are outside the plan or outside the budget, we can still handle them, pretty easily. Okay, so that's a secure feeling that we get when we know we have enough sort of setback that we can handle any eventuality that may arise. There's a warning that comes with this card that says don't be stingy with your resources. If you have money saved back and you know you're going to do okay, and then somebody comes to you looking for help, it's a good idea to consider giving them help, okay? Because the stability that we seek is the stability that other people seek as well. What could be better than having security and stability for yourself than also allowing somebody that we like and trust to also feel that sense of stability and security, safety, and abundance in their lives. And with that said, we got the Ten of Cups. I love that, friends. Okay, so cups are water element symbolism. It's very much about the emotion and the intuition, or in other words, just how it feels to be us. When we have experiences, what is the physical sensation that arises? What is the emotion that we feel? What is the information, whether questions that arise, or the certain knowing that comes up from our gut about a certain situation? That's what the Ten of Cups. That's what cups represent. And here we have the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is the end of the Cups journey. It is the ultimate expression of that emotional security, that emotional that emotional security and achievement. So whatever your version, when this comes up, I always say, whatever your version of the house on the hill with the kids playing by the stream and the rainbow overhead is, that's what the Ten of Cups is, right? Just that complete emotional satisfaction with life. And when we feel that way, when we have such an abundance of love and connection and good feeling and goodwill in our own heart, in our own life, it kind of spills over onto everything that we touch, okay? Everybody feels that sense of love and connection when we feel it. Everybody around us gets to benefit from it. So that's the Ten of Cups, and that's a beautiful card to have. It just says that you're able to, much like the Ten of Pentacles, it's like you're able to, invest lovingly in your family and in the things that, in your life the way you would like to have it. And having done so, you're having the most positive possible outcome from it. Whatever your version of that most positive possible outcome is. So where do we see this sense of emotional satisfaction and security on the page? Well, I'm going to say that Venus is currently conjunct to Saturn. Now it hasn't gone fully conjunct, but it will in a day or two. I believe it's tomorrow or the next day. So these two right here, Venus and Saturn, it's kind of an interesting vibe when they get together. Conjunct intensifies, amplifies the vibrations of both planets, the influence of both planets on our lives. Both of these planets, first I will point out, are here in the land of Aquarius. Okay, so Aquarius is that humanitarian vibe where we want to be the rising tide that lifts all boats. We want to we want to be in tune with the big idea that everybody should be included in our sense of emotional satisfaction and our sense of physical security and stability. So, Aquarian energy is very humanitarian. It's very progress minded, very scientific and technological. Just saying, we want to have a big picture. We want to be looking out, because Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn. We're going to be looking out not just for our own sense of security, but for the security of others. So Venus goes conjunct to Saturn. Saturn, again, is that sort of stern teacher, that coach that never gives up on you, but is also never very kind, So Saturn is here to tell you to do what works, to do what's tried and true, to stick to tradition, to make your moves wisely, to be conservative, to think about your security, your safety, to be frugal with your resources, right? Venus is our love and money. It's about how we invest ourselves. It's about who and what we trust and what we allow to come into our lives. Venus is about how we draw in, how we attract the people and things that we like, love, and can't get enough of. It's about what we value, okay, and what our relationship is to what we value, like having a good relationship to what we value. And when Venus and Saturn are here together, the relationships we value, the investments that we value, and again, we're talking about love and money. We're talking about our hearts and our pocketbooks, the things that we are invested in that we value the most. Of those things, when we're looking at them at this time, we can take a sort of drawn back Aquarian, dispassionate view. We can zoom out a little bit and look at the big picture, and we can tend to, to give ourselves a little cooling off period and look at these investments, look at these relationships that we have, and, come to some conclusions about what is working well for us, right? And in terms of what's working well for us, it's going to be, Venus wants to know what's working well for us, and Saturn is going to say, whatever it is that makes you feel secure, whatever it is that you don't have a question about, whatever it is that you feel that you can absolutely trust, whatever it is that you can conservatively say, this is really working for me, this is really adding to my sense of safety, support, and abundance in my life, okay? And that's some Ten of Cups stuff, just like the Ten of Pentacles, right? We are drawn to invest in those relationships that bring reciprocity, that bring as much into our lives as we put into them, that we get what we give, okay? Venus is very much about the balance of things. We don't want to receive more than is fair, and we also don't want to give more than is fair. We want it to be a solid balance. So we want, in our relationships with people, we want to be reliable to the people that we like, love, and can't get enough of, and we want those people to be as reliable to us. And in terms of our financial investments, the things that we pay for, I don't want to be making a $500 a month car payment on a car that is not working, right? So, that's kind of the balance that we're trying to strike with Venus conjunct to Saturn. And big picture, right? Aquarian big picture energy. So it's not just about you and me, it's about how my sense of security, my sense of emotional satisfaction, my sense of being held and supported and reciprocated in my efforts, how that spills over onto the collective, how that spills over onto the people around me in my community, and in my region. Okay, so it's also about how, how our sense of security affects the work, social, and sphere, how it affects the broader collective of people. Moon is sextile to both of these today. Moon goes sextile to Saturn at 4:08 this morning. And I don't know when that sextile to Venus is complete, but essentially they are conjunct. So it's a good time it's a good time at home to enjoy some calm and quiet time. It's a good time to be taking care of business. And it's probably a good time to be, again, reflecting on how good those investments are for us, how much return we're getting on our emotional and financial investments at this time, right? And then we have this nice 9 hours void, of course, before the moon goes into Capricorn. So more Saturn energy, because Saturn rules Capricorn too. We still want in our hearts for the things that we're doing in our private life, in our personal life, our interactions with people that we love and care about. We still want that to be, practical. We want to be getting a good return on the investment that we're giving. Okay, so taken together. These two are also square with Uranus here, which is, the changing nature of our ability to establish security in our life. So, that just really re-emphasizes for me that we're looking to these relationships and these investments and saying, anything that doesn't feel steady and stable and anything that feels too exciting or changeable at this time is not really going to probably hold our attention very much. And then taken together here with the Four of Pentacles. Security is the name of the game, right? Being conservative, not putting our love investment, our goodwill investment, our investment from the heart, but also our investment of material resources from the pocketbook, into things that feel uncertain. Okay, we want to be frugal with what it is that we have. If you have, if you have this beautiful scene in your life, whatever it is, again, your version of the house on the hill with the stream running by and the children playing in the grass, right? And the rainbow overhead, and we can all enjoy it and be happy. Whatever your version is of that, when you feel that way and when you get it, protect it. Okay, it's a good thing to protect what you have earned. It's a good thing to be frugal, to not to be a little conservative, to not be variable ourselves in what we give to those relationships. Okay, to remain steadfast and to remain, like a solid partner in life, a solid partner in love, a solid partner in business affairs as well. Okay, we want to really keep that sense of security and safety and structure about us. We really want to appreciate it and enjoy it, and really recognize that emotional and that emotional sense of satisfaction in our investments. Really, sometimes, okay, so sometimes we do all the right things and we get ourselves into this situation where everything is beautiful and we have this ideal that we've been striving for, or maybe we didn't even know that this was the ideal that we've been striving for, but we got there anyway, right? We have this ultimate feeling of emotional satisfaction based on the way we've set our life up at this time, right? And then some people are self-sabotagers and they'll look around and they'll say, okay, am I satisfied or am I bored? So they will act outside of themselves and they will do, unconservative things. They will, do things to sort of sabotage the situation that they've gotten themselves into, and that's not something that we want to do. When you have that ultimate sense of satisfaction, understand 10 of Cups, it does mean you're at the end of a certain journey. Okay, this is a point of completion, and then you're going to start over with something, but that doesn't mean you have to give up that sense of satisfaction. It just means that having come to this level of security and understanding, you now know how to have this, and hopefully you know somewhat how to maintain it as you sort of move on with your life from here. Okay, just keeping in mind that if this is what we want to maintain, we got to be conservative with it. We got to be frugal with it. We have to communicate well. We have to, expend our love and our resources in a dependable, reliable way. We have to be as reliable for these people as they are for us. Okay. And again, it's also about, the warning that comes with the Four of Pentacles that says, yes, being conservative is good for your sense of stability, but try not to be stingy, right? That includes, your emotional satisfaction. The idea with the Ten of Cups is that once you reach that feeling of emotional satisfaction with your life, with what you've built, with what you've invested in from the heart and from the pocketbook, that's supposed to sort of spill over onto the people that you surround yourself with. Okay, so that when you come into contact with the checker at the grocery store, or when you come into contact with the people at work, your sense of satisfaction, of stability, of success, of emotional success, and and of material success, can kind of influence the people that you come into contact with. Okay, so and that's more about being an example and less about telling people how they ought to do it. Okay, so just live in that sense of success. Don't try to hide it from people. Share your sense of possibility and satisfaction with the way things are, with the people around you, and let them see, how good that can feel. Let them feel good for you. Let them feel the reward that you're feeling, vicariously through you. Yeah. So, there's a little bit of like, hold on to what you've got, but also don't be stingy with it. Right? I love my wife very much. And I take whatever measures I have to take to show that I am as invested in the relationship as she is, right? And I do that in a really kind of conservative approach where, I'm not just off doing whatever my whim would tell me to do. And I can be a very whimmy person, okay? But I'm really just not off doing whatever my whims call on me to do in the context of this relationship, because I want her to know that I'm invested. I want her to know that I'm serious, and I want us both to feel this sense of satisfaction with our marriage and just with the life that we live together. So I take a conservative approach with that, but that doesn't mean that I lock her away, or I don't talk about her to other people, or I don't let people in, on the sort of secrets of how we get along so well. If somebody asked me, like, how do you guys do it? I would just say, well, this is what I do, but also I just share with other people, like, yes, I'm in love. I'm so happy in this relationship. And hopefully, that is carried out in my bearing as I'm out in the world, working with people and encountering people outside of my life, right? Not being stingy with that love. I'm sharing it. And I'm sharing it from a place of security. Okay, I think that's all I have to say about it today, friends. Thank you so much for joining me. I truly appreciate your presence here. My name is Mel Rose, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today and Tarot.